What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking future stars in the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, there's about 5 players here that I believe are going to be breakout sensations this year. Hopefully, by the grace of the good Lord, we'll see some production out of some of these guys. And honestly, some of these names you may know. I'm sure you're going to know all of them being an Alabama fan. But the thing that surprised me was a couple of these guys I hadn't really thought about producing much this year until I finally got to looking into some of their stats, some of their physicals, just watching a little game film. I mean, it's let's get into it. I got a lot to say, honestly. We'll start on defense. QB Reese. It's a really cool name. I wish I could have a cool name like that. But anyway, Reese is a little bit undersized for an SEC linebacker, and what he lacks in size, he really makes up for with his speed and his effort, honestly. He has the ability to run sideline to sideline. I mean, he may not be a Jihad Campbell or a Deontay Lawson, but the kid has speed. And honestly, with his pursuit angles and his effort alone, he's going to make up for a lot of those shortcomings in the size. Don't be surprised when he blows up some plays this year because some running back thought to themselves, oh, well, me and him are about the same size. No, he will hit you in the mouth. He is not afraid. He gives the effort that you expect from an Alabama player. He's going to be one of the guys I expect this year to anchor this linebacker unit. We're going to need someone to step up, and we're going to need someone to step up quick because we've lost a lot, and we've lost a lot of leaders on the defense. We're going to need someone to step up and take that spot and do it. Next up, we have a 5-star phenom. It's Darren Morgan. This is one of the most exciting offensive players I think I have seen in recent memory. And we're going to have two. We're going to have two really exciting offensive players. But we're going to talk about Darren Morgan first. So Darren Morgan comes in at 6'5", 210 pounds. Why would you think that's important? Well, as far as that goes, 6'5", 210 pounds, that's Calvin Johnson size as a 17, 18-year-old kid. And if you watch his film, this kid has the ability. I watched him take a 5-yard slant for about 65 yards. Now, mind you, this is high school. This is not college. This is not the SEC. But that shows me, let alone, that the kid has speed to go along with that 6'5 frame. He's got a lot of body control, too. He is going to bully undersized defensive backs all year. If you want to put someone on this kid that he has even the slightest edge in size over, he's going to make them look stupid. There is no way. And you're not gonna believe this. The kid can run any route that's asked of, which I think is going to be very important because we're going to need to replace somebody this year that I believe was one of our best highlights, one of the biggest highlights of this entire team, which was Jeremy Bernard. Jeremy Bernard was able to do whatever we asked him to do. And I think Darren Morgan can do whatever is asked of him. He will go 1 minute from running a deep ball and catching a pass over a DB to taking it in around for 20, 30, 40 yards. I believe the kid has the talent to do it as long as he develops properly, which I have no doubt in my mind he will. I mean, there's just some people you watch and you know they have it. Him and another guy we're going to talk about have it. They have it. I don't know how to explain it. It's just it, and he has it. And this next guy may actually excite a lot of Alabama fans because if you looked at our running back room last year, there were a lot of disappointments in our running back room, mostly because our starter stayed hurt all year, which is not his fault. He had nothing to do with it. But the other guys that came up showed glimpses of being great, but they never really did anything with it. And I know part of that is our offensive line, and Deboer has, I believe, addressed our offensive line problems, so maybe this year it'll be better. But at 5'11" and 205 pounds, Xavier Crowell has possibly the most all around package in a running back you've seen. He may even be the best running back to come through the state of Alabama in 15 years. I mean, just what separates him from a lot of other guys is his vision. I've watched some of his games being from Alabama myself, obviously. The kid has the ability to let plays develop. He has great vision. And to go along with that vision, the kid has a lot of putting my foot in the ground and being able to turn up field, able to move side to side. And then once he makes you miss, he's going to just go off. He is going to turn on the jets and away he goes. So as far as running backs go, the only worry with Xavier Crowell is pass protection. And I have no doubt in my mind that we can address those pass protection things. It's just, you're going to have that freshman curve with pass protections. 99% of running backs do. As long as he can address that, I expect Xavier Crowell for the next 2-3 years to be the man at Alabama, at least in the running back room. We're going to head back to the defense, and we're going to talk about London Simmons. Simmons comes in at about 6'3", 6'4", somewhere in there, 303 pounds. This may seem just a little bit small compared to Tim Keenan, because he replaced Tim Keenan. He's an interior defensive lineman. I don't foresee that being a big issue with him. I really don't see why that would be a big problem, because just watching him at 303 pounds, he's not lacking for power. He has very aggressive hands. I've seen him work. The man brings power, speed, and honestly just a bunch of aggressiveness to a defensive line that I believe needs to be very aggressive this year. If we're going to do anything, we're going to need a lot of these guys to step up. We suffered some of the year having a lot of pass rush issues, and London Simmons honestly can be that guy in the middle to take up blockers to free up other guys to make those tackles. And along with that, he has the ability to run any stunt, any twist, anything that you can pull up in your little, blitzing book of plays or whatever you want to call it. He can do it. When you go from a 1 eye to a 5 in about 2 seconds, that is unreal for someone his size. And I have full confidence that if I sent him from dead set over center to through a tackle, he could do it. And honestly, as long as he can get the starting job, he is going to become a very large part of this defense that is already going to be a decent unit this year. Again, we've lost production, but we're returning a lot that I believe can make differences on the field. And finally, we're going to go to probably one of my more controversial picks, because I haven't been able to gauge where a lot of fans are sitting with the Keelan Russell, Austin Mack thing. I've heard the case for both, but the only thing that I'm looking at right now is ceiling. Where can these guys take us when given the opportunity to take over the game? And Keelan holds a lot of keys to the game that I believe excel over Mac, because Mac is almost like one of those things. He is a more sure option because we have more film. He has more time and more experience. Keelan is a mystery bag. And from the limited film that I have on him, and from what I'm able to see, he's not afraid to make tight throws. He is very confident in his arm and his receivers that no matter where he throws that ball, he's going to put it where it needs to be, and his receivers are going to catch it. In his mind, when the ball leaves his hand, it's going to be a positive. And there's a lot of things that you see in some young guys, and that's a thing that you don't really see in a lot of freshmen sometimes, is just the pure confidence to make throws. And he's athletic. He's very athletic. I wouldn't be surprised if this kid is able to take a broken play and turn it into a 40, 50-yard run. I mean, he is athletic. He is twitchy. But the thing about the twitchy is it's a very disciplined twitchy. You know, you get a lot of guys that get twitchy. You know, we had Milrow. Sometimes he felt a little undisciplined because sometimes when he needed to stay in the pocket, he would feel pressure and he would run. Keelan lets the pressure come to him, and he knows that if he can stay, and he's very good at deciding, do I need to stay in the pocket or do I need to get out? Do I need to leave? And that's a lot. That is a thing that is really hard to teach in a young quarterback. And I believe that with those abilities, he is going to bring something to the table that Austin Mack just does not. No offense to Austin Mack. He is great. He is, if I was going to build a quarterback, he's what I would build if I was going to build a more pass heavy quarterback. But in today's game, that extra dimension that Keelan Russell brings to the table is just going to be the difference maker for me. I foresee that being the biggest question is, do I want to throw the ball 70 times a game, or do I want to hand it to a guy that no matter what I call can make a play? Now, you might all have gotten to this part in the video and thought to yourself, what does this all mean for the University of Alabama? And I'm going to tell you, you have a fast linebacker who's not afraid of contact. You have a possible generational talent at receiver. You have what could possibly be one of the most reliable defensive linemen in the SEC. You have a workhorse running back and a quarterback that's nothing but ceiling. And that should tell you something, because some of these guys might not even start. And I could see a world where these guys become superstars. There is nothing about that makes me feel like Alabama could be anything but dangerous this year. You're going to look at them and you're going to say to yourself, oh, well, they lost a lot. Well, yeah, we did. But look at the guys that are standing right in front of you. These are dangerous men on the field, and they will remain dangerous all year as long as they can develop. But I want to hear from y'all. I am just one man. I don't know everything. I'm not an expert. Who did I leave out? Do y'all agree with any of these? Do you disagree? Tell me who I left out. Tell me where you don't agree. I'm not going to bite your head off. I would really love to know where everyone's sitting with these players, because these are just some players that I was, just researching, and then I got to putting together, hey, these guys could break the game in every way, shape, or form, put video game numbers up. But that's all for me, and I'll see y'all next time.